Have you ever noticed that when life feels overwhelming, our first instinct is to add something, a new planner, a routine, a new app, a new goal, maybe it's a new commitment. And we're just thinking that if we can get a better system, then life will finally feel manageable again, right? But what if the answer isn't adding more? What if the answer is simplifying? Because every time I simplify something in my own life, I notice the same thing happens. I breathe a little bit deeper and my shoulders start to relax and my mind feels less clutter and I have more peace. And ironically, I usually accomplish more because my energy isn't scattered in 10 different directions. So today, I want to talk about adopting a simpler lifestyle, not because less is always better, but because making room for what matters most brings us peace. If you're tired of people pleasing, caring too much, and wondering why peace still feels so hard to hold on to, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Lori, mom, former people pleaser, and your boundaries coach. Here we talk about how to protect your peace, set healthier boundaries, and get clear on what actually matters so that you can build a life that feels lighter, calmer, and more satisfying. So let's stop the chaos for a minute, moms, catch our breath, and get into this next episode. Hey friend, welcome back to Healthy Boundaries for Moms. I am your host, Lori Grimes, and I am so glad to be back and recording with you guys. I know we had this little unexpected break last week because there were some technical difficulties that I had to get figured out, but we're back and I'm excited to spend a little time with you today. So over the last couple weeks, one word has just kept coming to my mind: simplicity. It is something that I realize that whenever life starts to feel like chaotic or stressed or overwhelming, the thing that brings me the most relief isn't finding another life hack. It's simplifying. I think our brains and our bodies, and especially our minds and our souls, they're all just looking for a chance to exhale, to drop our shoulders, to slow down, and to know where to place our attention. Because when everything feels important, it's hard to know what actually is deserving of our energy and our attention. So Jesus speaks directly to this in Luke chapter 10, 41 through 42. And it says, "But the Lord answered her, 'Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her.'" So I love how gentle Jesus is with Martha. He doesn't go right to shaming her. He doesn't start to tell her how she's failing. He's just pointing out that she's carrying many things when only a few things are really needed. And I love that there's only a few things that are needed. And I wonder how often we are like Martha. We're not doing bad things per se. We're just doing too many good things. And sometimes we've complicated what God intended to be simple. So lately, I've also been thinking a lot about the minimalist lifestyle. So I don't know if you've heard of this lifestyle, but before you tune me out, I'm not saying we all need to own like 10 things or live in some perfectly white and black house and we have like one coffee mug. That's not what I mean. What I'm talking about is adopting the principles of a simpler life. Maybe that means just owning fewer things because less clutter creates more peace in our minds. And maybe it's about simplifying your schedule, your routines, or your finances, maybe even your commitments, or just how your home is set up. Maybe it's your health plan or even the expectations you put on yourself. Minimalism at its heart is just asking one simple question: is this adding value to my life, or is this simply just adding weight? Because every possession requires a little bit of our attention, right? It requires us to clean it or find a place for it, take care of it. Every commitment is asking for some of our time, right? So every time we say yes, we have to say no somewhere else. And every unfinished project occupies our mental space. I mean, have you ever started a project and then it's just weighing on you every time you think about it because you're like, oh, I have to get that done? And every unrealistic expectation is stealing from our peace. Like it's eating away at our peace. And little by little, all those things become heavy. And maybe that's why simplifying starts to feel like such a relief. It's like taking this weight off our shoulders. It's giving our minds and our bodies and our souls permission to breathe again. So I think simplifying our lives starts even deeper than just, say, cleaning out a closet. I think it starts with our contentment, because if we're always chasing the next thing, we'll just never feel like what we have is enough. We'll always want something more. We're always going to want more money or possessions, maybe more experiences, more vacations, or a bigger house, or better car, a better job, maybe more fun activities or accomplishments. We may even be looking to be more productive. But the problem is there's just always going to be another more, right? Like the finish line just keeps moving on us. And that's why Jesus gives us this warning. In Luke 12:15, it says, "Then he said to them, 'Watch out, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in abundance of possessions.'" So Jesus isn't saying possessions are wrong. He's just reminding us that life isn't measured by what we own or have. Our joy isn't found in accumulating more. Our peace is definitely not found in having the newest or the best thing out there. So then listen to what the writer of Hebrews says. So Hebrews 13:5 says, "Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, 'Never will I leave you. Never will I forsake you.'" So I love that connection. Being content is because God is with you, with us. Our contentment isn't rooted in finally getting that thing we've wanted. It's rooted in knowing the one who never leaves us. So when we stop chasing more, we get to enter into enjoying what we already have. And we notice the blessings that we've been overlooking. We become better stewards of what's sitting right in front of us. And we trade comparison for gratitude, and that creates peace in our lives. So there's another verse that has really challenged me. So Hebrews 12:1 says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us." Notice it doesn't just say to throw off sin, it also says to throw off everything that hinders. So some things aren't sinful, they're just heavy and they are distracting us, and they no longer are serving in this current season of life. So maybe one of the most spiritual things we can do is ask, what am I carrying that God never asked me to carry? I say that one a lot in this podcast because I think it's a question that continually comes up, that we need to be checking ourselves daily and weekly. So this week, I want to challenge you to simplify one area of your life. Maybe it's cleaning out one drawer, or maybe it's just saying no to one commitment that you think you want to make. Maybe it's deleting apps you don't need, or choosing one simple meal plan for the week. Maybe it's just turning off your notifications and clearing out some space mentally for you. Or maybe it's spending less time scrolling and more time sitting on the back porch with a cup of coffee or iced tea, something that is relaxing. Or maybe it's just letting go of one unrealistic expectation that you've placed on yourself. Ask yourself, what is adding value to my life? And what is just adding weight? So friend, I don't want you to think that peace comes from finally knocking everything off your to-do list. I think peace is coming from knowing what doesn't need to be done. I don't think joy comes from always having more or attaining more, getting more. I think joy grows when we are learning to be content with what God has already entrusted to us. And contentment is what leads to simplicity. And simplicity is what is creating the margin in your life. And then margin allows us to be present in our lives. And when we are present, we begin to notice the peace that has been there all along and is available to us. So my prayer for you this week is that you'll find that one area of your life to simplify, not so you can do more, but just so that you can live more intentionally and more peacefully and more gratefully, and the more fully present with the people and the purpose God has given you. So I hope this episode has inspired you to try out this minimalist mindset, and that maybe it will help you to simplify some things and to really find some contentment and joy in your life. Hey friend, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and go join our free Facebook page at Healthy Boundaries for Moms? That's where we go deeper, share what's actually working, and support each other in real life. I will also share some great tools and tips to help you along this journey. I have also included a link to sign up for our brand new weekly newsletter in the Facebook group. Don't forget to hit follow and leave a quick review on Apple. It really lets me know that this podcast is helping you. More importantly, it helps more women find this podcast. Now go, say no to something that's stealing your peace and say yes to something you actually need. And I'll meet you back here in the next episode.
Alone at the edge of the universe, humming a tune. For merely dreaming we were snow. A siren sounds like the goddess who promises endless apologies of paradise. And only she can make it right. So things are different tonight.